want it. Yeah, you want it. Yeah.
That was a great song. Well, thank you, DJ. Did you change? I was going to change, Cesar. I was going to put my new shirt on.
I want to see it. Voting for the future. Imagine all the people. Well, we want to give a shout out first to Brian for that music.
Yes, giving us life on that. That was a good selection, B. Thank you.
And we have Brian and Lindsay backstage, so everyone get some love. We love them from Orlando Fringe. But here we have the iconic Tymisha. Oh, this way. Tymisha. Hey, girl.
Are you there? You're there?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You can't touch. We gotta wash your hands.
Practice safe sticks. Practice safe sticks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cesar De La Rosa.
I am Tymisha, aka Tush.
And we are your
hosts.
For
know me a Coke. We are your hosts for your First Fridays, Fringe First Fridays, but it's our second Fringe First Friday. So welcome.
But we're so grateful to have you here. This is, like Tush said, this is our first Fringe Friday. It's so cool to be here and doing this with you. You know, I adore you. We go way back.
Go on.
It's our years at Universal, and we've gotten to see each other. Yeah. But we've also known each other from the Orlando Fringe stage. We've done shows, or written shows as well for the Orlando Fringe, and now we're all together. We're trying to make Orlando Fringe, as everyone also is trying to make this world a better place. Now that there are things in the forefront, all these issues that we have to pay attention to, all these things that we have to put our hands in and change, and we have to get dirty. We'll do it because it's worth it for everyone, and that includes the arts. That includes giving voices to people who have not had the voices before, and getting the time slots for that. So it's an honor for us to be here in a time where we have 6 performers, 6 entries, people who are BIPOC.
And they've never been to the Orlando Fringe. Not that they've never been, but they've never applied for the Fringe. They are all first timers to our sweet little Orlando Fringe.
Yes. So if you are an Orlando Fringe alum, if you're an Orlando Fringe fan, attendee, volunteer, and you're here watching us tonight, we encourage you to applaud. We encourage you to watch intently. Tell your friends. Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm excited too. Hey,
girl. Welcome. Great.
Hi. Oh my God. Hi, Joyce. Love you, Joyce. Mwah. Hi, Michael. Love you. Oh my gosh. So as you can tell, we are going to have, thankfully, with the technology of virtual rooms, we're going to get some comments here too. And we're going to get to connect with you. So feel free to also engage that way. But what I was trying to say is make sure you clap a lot, share some love. We do feel that. Performers feel that regardless of how far we are. More than 6 feet apart, we still feel that kind of love. So make sure you give, like Tush said, these performers love. It is their first time they are here. So we're so honored to have them. Now, if you want to do any contribute more than just applause, we do accept that. We accept contributions, monetary contributions for artists, right, Tush?
Absolutely. You can donate to 41444. Text Fringe to 41444. Fringe 41444. And the donation will 100% go back to the artists, as our ticket says down there.
Yes. And Tush, I want to talk to you. I want to catch up on everything. I just wanted to brag about how I did get my ice cream. We talked about this backstage. Okay. I'm going to eat it during the show. So I'm going to get even more sugared up. So you have your shirt. I have my ice cream, and backstage.
I have my pin too. It says Mr. Rogers for president. It's one of my first buttons that I had for years. And so I'm really about voting today. These are for our rights, for your rights, for the artist's rights, for everyone's rights. It's really a crazy time, but I hope that everyone takes a chance and gets involved with changing our government for the better.
Yeah. It's time to stand up. It's time to speak out. And it's time to show up, and so we're grateful for that. This is the season for that.
We're gonna do
it. And speaking of,
this background makes me feel like it's my hair.
It is. Yes. Alana, we adore you. Alana,
Hi,
so gorgeous. But
Yeah,
Tush couldn't be more correct. She is saying all the right things. This is the time. Speaking of, this is actually the time to someone who's shown up. We have Brother John is one of the 6 members who have applied for this first Fringe Friday, and we are going to welcome him to come. Oh, he's here. Brother John!
Welcome to the party.
We're from KC.
He's from Kansas City. He also has a pin too. Now, Brother John, how are you? How's the weather? How's everything?
Doing great from KC. Yeah, a little hot here, but still good.
It is so good, and we're so grateful to have you. Yes, and you have a show to share with us. You're gonna share it live, and it's called "Saving the Best for Last." It's by Rashpa Productions. There's also, I believe, a pre-recorded video just in case if anything happens. Now, we know we are trusting ourselves into the powers of Wi-Fi and whatever is out there, the metaphysical. But either way, we give you. We give you so much love. We're so grateful to have you here with us. How did you get connected to the Orlando Fringe?
Yeah, man. Lindsay, she reached out there and found out. She says, "I know you, Brother John. We disciplines in KC Fringe, and I saw your name and like just an invitation. It's like, wow, old friends. So Fringe does that. Yeah."
I love that. If you're part of one of the Fringe cities, you're basically connected to a whole net of Fringe, the Fringe community. So, like you said, KC Fringe is the Fringe where you got to meet Lindsay, and now you're here in the Orlando Fringe. And you're here to share your show live. I love it. KC Fringe. Would you give us a brief introduction about the show before we let you go ahead and do your thing?
Saving the Best for Last. Basically, it's a tribute to some of my favorite artists that I've done in KC Fringe, as well as celebrating some of their tribute songs, some of the songs they've got a chance to hold them for their last songs, but also songs when you talked about getting up and standing up for your vote, making your voice being heard. These iconic songs that address of racial inequality and social injustice. And that's what we'll share with that from Bob Marley, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson. Yeah.
That is beautiful. Well, I don't know if you feel it already. We feel it as well. We give you all the warmth of the Orlando Fringe love. We have so many people here who are already applauding you and excited to hear your story and dive into this world that you've created. So without further ado, here is Brother John in Saving the Best for Last by Rashpa Productions. Take it away. Brother John! Well, it throws in a beautiful image of Brother John getting ready to...
It is.
I'm eating my ice cream. I'm so sorry.
You were already eating your ice cream before the show started.
Yes. I was like...
Tell me, John.
But it throws in a beautiful image of Brother John. He's currently frozen in time, holding the suspense. Now, we all understand. We've all been... exposed to the trickiness of connecting virtually all over the world. We're grateful to have an opportunity like this, but sometimes these things do happen. We want to try our best to make sure that we get Brother John to come back. Now, Brother John is a busy fella. He is booked and blessed, right, Tush?
Booked and blessed. He's got something to run to, so we'll see about getting him in and getting his portion of the show going.
Yes!
about it? Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know that good isn't good. After story ain't never been told. So now you see the light. What you gonna do? Stand up for your right. Say it with me now. Get up, stand up. It's what we do. Stand up for your right. Hey, hey, hey. Get up, stand up. Yeah, don't give up the fight. Oh, don't give up the fight. Say, song. Don't give up the fight. One more time now. Don't give up the fight. Another Bob Marley tune that talks about the tribulations of the African slave trade, as well as being able to guard yourselves with the freedoms to increase your mental and emotional fortitude. Redemption song. Emancipate yourselves with mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. I've no fear for atomic energy. For none of them that can stop at the time. I know where they kill our prophets. Where we just stand by and look. Ooh, some say we're just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever am. Redemption songs, redemption songs, these songs of freedom. Another tune, Change Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. And it was inspired by Sam listening to Bob Dylan's Blowing in the Wind on the radio. And he had to write this piece saying, Blowing in the Wind, that's my song. That's our song. That's about the struggle. So he wrote his own piece. Unfortunately, he only got a chance one time to record that song. Actually, he recorded it, but to perform it live in public. That was on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson way back in 1964, and before his untimely passing away a few months later. And you know the one. I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change won't come. Oh, yes it will. When I go to the movies and I go downtown, somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change going on. Of course, we can't forget in 1971, Marvin Gaye penned the song after hearing about all the racial protests and the police brutality, corruption, and entities, imagination. So he decided to write something about this. He said this was a gift of God. And you know the tune, understanding communication. Mother, mother, there's far too many of you crying. Ooh, brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to all things. Don't punish me. Tell me what's going on. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Please tell me what's going on. Right on, right on, right on, right on. Yeah. And last but not least, here, tuned in May 13th, 2003. Another Motown Records legend, William Smokey Robinson. He presented a poem on BET's network Def Poetry Jam. And Smokey's poem was titled I Love Being Black. And by the way, a side note, Smokey was named after his father, William, his namesake. But he got his famous nickname from his Uncle Claude, who called him Smokey because he didn't want him to ever forget his African heritage, ancestry in his family. So I'm going to leave you with this little piece from an iconic song titled Quiet Storm. Then we're going to finish it up. Just a sample of Smokey Robinson's I Love Being Black. Soft and warm, a quiet storm, quiet as the flowers talking, break it down, break it down. You should sink it on my lips, promising electric things. You just touch me, send the rainbow wings. Quiet storm blowing through my mind, through my mind. Quiet storm blowing through my mind, through my mind. I speak it. See, I love being black. I love being called black. I love being an American. I love being a black American. And since those first ships arrived here from Africa that came across the sea, there were already black men in this country that were already free. So if we're going to go back, let's go all the way back. And if Adam was black, and if Eve was black, that makes it a natural fact that everyone in America is an African American. And if one drop of black blood makes you black, like they say, then everyone's black anyway. So quit trying to change my identity, because I'm already who I was meant to be. Because I'm proud to be black, and I never lived in Africa. Now, I have nothing against Africa. It's where some of the most beautiful places and people the world are found. But if you ask me where I choose to live, I pick America. Hands down. Quiet storm blowing. Thank you. Ashe.
Woo!
Yes, that was awesome. Wonderful.
Thank
I
you.
would like
Thank
to sing
you.
a song with you. I think I should sing a song at some point. When you come to Orlando, we should sing a song.
Brother John, it was
Hello?
so great to
Thank
have
you.
you. We have a lot of people commenting and just saying how you sang some of their favorite songs. You got to sing Don't Give Up the Fight. You sang Redemption Song, Change is Gonna Come, What's Going On, and left us with a beautiful rendition of Quiet Storm with a poem called I Love Being Black by the iconic William Smokey Robinson. All of our performers are also thanking you for the incredible performance. We were not ready. We were not ready for those voices. Not only did you sing so beautifully, all of the different songs were distinctly similar to the artists. And you know, like for example, you can tell when you sang Bob Marley, his style, all the way up to Smokey Robinson, you were able to change your voice. How did you prepare yourself to sing these in the way that the artist sung them?
Repeat that. How did I?
How were you able to catch the sound? Yeah, how were you able to catch the sound of the artist as well as you did?
Ever to catch artists? YouTube is a great piece of technology, and I grew into a lot of those songs around my house growing up, and being able to capture this the message of their soul, their spirit there, and what they're saying and just listening over and over to them. And uh, it's more than just the words; it's the little nuances there, and they're catching that with that, and not just mimicking or pretending, but it's actually becoming that as well. So you're
Yes.
asking those questions. What was he feeling? What were they feeling? Yeah, and actually, it's more than just the song. It's a message that has to be timeless, as Marvin Gaye said to Smokey Robinson.
We're
From
gonna hold
God, and I
for.
must share it with that. It's something. It's coming from the heart. It must be said. Ironically, Billy Gordy didn't like.
We
Say
had.
it.
So yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah.
Do you mind saying that one more
Repeat
time? Just because there was a little bit of
Yeah.
a signal thing. We want to hear.
Ironically, at first,
Mhm.
at first, initially, Billy Gordy didn't like the song. What's going on? He thought it was going to change Marvin Gaye's sexy soul persona. But Marvin was motivated by a passion, using his talent as a voice. He had to speak for something he felt is more important in life. That's transcendent. That's timeless. That affects everybody, instead of just one person's. Uh, but the song went platinum in 2 days.
Well, that is a brilliant story, Brother John.
And so
He broke off.
Apology. Well,
It's okay. That was amazing, right?
that was a wonderful thing.
I was not expecting that.
No, not at all.
I was
I
shook.
can't wait to see it. I want to know if he's playing guitar with it, playing guitar. If he's going to be doing musical instruments.
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
cool
We
you know?
Brother John, if you hear us, and those people who follow Brother John as well, make sure you catch what the show he's doing next. He's doing a show somewhere in Kansas City right now. And then also please let him know we want him to apply. Obviously we do. It's a lottery-based system for the Orlando Fringe, but please apply. We would love to see you here in person. It's an honor to have you. Wasn't that crazy? That was awesome.
Oh my gosh, I was singing right along, and I think Brian turned my microphone off because I was probably there's a little gnat in my house.
No! Brother John, we just want to thank you so much for being part of it. We want to send you off with all this stuff. Thank you so much for entrusting us with your message. And your story. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening.
Great. Now, I think we can move right along to our next person.
Yeah. You have more ice cream to eat, so we might as well keep going.
Listen. Yes. Why don't we introduce the next person?
Absolutely. Coming up next, we have Gina Fawaz.
Hello.
Gina. Hi. Welcome. Tell everybody who you are, Miss Ma'am.
Wow. Hello. I'm Gina. I'm a student at Rollins College, so I'm close to the Orlando Fringe, and I've just, seen how amazing theater can be. Yeah, right there. No, it's up there.
That's good. My directions.
I know. I was like, oh. And I'm just excited to be a part of this and have the opportunity to tell a story on this platform. I don't know. It's exciting.
Yeah.
We love having you. Thank you for applying. Now, you did mention to us you're a Lebanese American, but you live in Winter Park.
Yes.
How long have you been here in the Orlando area?
I've been here since my freshman year of high school. So that's a bunch of years. I was trying to do the math in my head, but it wasn't going to happen.
Well, you're in college right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm a junior now. So
nice. High school, college to both of us has been a long time ago. To me, I don't know.
I actually didn't go to college. I went to the School of Hard Knocks throughout my career and did a lot of thinking about going to college, possibly, but then no.
I mean, it doesn't. It's not for everyone. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like especially now, since like classes are gonna start for a lot of universities here, they have started, and it's like you can see how
It's
draining it's gonna be doing virtual.
it's a lot.
Especially like for hi Ed.
As
Aw, Ed.
is one of the best reasons we fringe. I love you, Mutt and Jeff, right there.
So
Right.
you have a great show for us today. It's called "How Can I Help You?" Would you mind telling us a little bit about it before you do your thing?
Yes, of course. The best way that I can describe this play without giving too much is that it tries to contextualize the pandemic of loneliness during the coronavirus pandemic.
Hello.
Yeah, because especially because these days, we're paying a lot of attention to health, which is important, but a lot of people don't realize that health includes both physical and mental health.
Amen.
So this play tries to deal with how a physically threatening pandemic can impact someone on a mental and emotional level. And I wanted to note something before the play starts, that it does deal with some sensitive topics, such as suicide and self-harm. So if anyone is uncomfortable or thinks that this may harm them negatively, then please join us afterwards. But I'm excited, and it's kind of just the type of play you just gotta get thrown into. So,
All right.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing the disclaimers as well. That's something that it was an oversight on my part. So I'm glad. I'm glad that you
attention. You're right.
of
Yeah,
course,
thank you for paying
of course,
attention to
no
that.
problem. Thank you so much again.
Oh, it's a pleasure. We're grateful to have you here with us. And without further ado, here's Gina performing "How
Can I help
Can I
you?
Help You?" Take it away. Someone's drinking water.
In a white room, the walls are covered with doodles of flowers, poems, numbers, illustrations of moments in B's life. B is sitting with his back against the wall, distraught, while S stands across from him on the other side of the room, composed, with a phone in her hand.
How can I help you?
You can't,
Why not?
because you don't really care.
I do care.
Stop lying.
I can't lie.
I don't even know why I'm talking to you right now.
You were the one who asked to talk. I'm only here to help you.
I just feel like no one ever listens to me.
I'm listening.
Yeah, but you have to listen.
Just because it's in my job description doesn't mean I'm not listening. I care about your well-being.
Yeah, whatever.
Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm just confused. I mean, do you think I should... Never mind.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Should I call her?
Who?
Her.
Who?
You know who! Don't be a smartass.
Well, that's not nice.
You're not nice.
You're just bitter.
Shut up.
All right. Goodbye.
She goes to hand him back the phone. He backs away apologetically.
No. Wait. No. Wait. I don't want to say goodbye like I did the last time.
Last time?
I don't mean the last time with you.
And who are you talking about?
You know who! We've talked about this before.
I want to hear you say it. I'm the listener in this relationship, remember?
I can't just call her.
Why not?
Because she'll think I'm pathetic.
I'm sure she won't think you're pathetic.
You don't know that. Ever since I was a kid, I've had this voice in my head constantly telling me that I'm not good enough, and it always sounded like my mom, but
Your mom.
yes, my mom. Last time I saw her, my head got so loud I couldn't even think straight, and I said things I really shouldn't have.
When was that?
A couple years ago. God, what if she has the virus? Or worse, what if she had it and then died alone thinking that I didn't love her, all because I was too afraid to pick up the freaking phone?
S tries to hand B the phone so that he can call his mom, but he hesitates. She places the phone on the ground in front of him. He stares at it, but is unable to move.
I really do want to call her. I'm terrified.
Terrified she won't answer?
Terrified she will. Because then what? What do I tell her? That I'm this new person? That I haven't changed? I broke up with Amina because she accused me of hurting myself, even though I was, and I was so offended that someone was even trying to help me that I threw a temper tantrum and ran away again. How can I do that? God, I can't breathe.
Okay, let's use the breathing techniques we learned. Inhale 1, 2, 3, hold. Exhale in 3, 2.
I just feel like people are always trying to help me, but I'm not broken. God, even you see me as broken.
I only see you the way that you present yourself to me.
What does that even mean?
According to Google, it is okay and very normal to feel lonely and depressed during the quarantine. And if you need help from a professional, the number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255.
Yeah, I know it. I've got it up there for a reason.
B points to a large phone number written on the back wall.
Have you called them?
Not yet.
You should.
I know, I will. I don't know. I just want to.
What was that?
Never
I didn't
mind.
catch what you said.
Nothing. I'm bored. There's literally nothing to do here.
According to Google, the top 25 most relaxing things to do when you're bored include number 1, trying out a new hairstyle.
No, thank you. I finally got mine parted just the way I like it.
Oh, you did that on purpose.
What's that supposed to mean?
Number 2, take a bubble bath.
Nah, I don't like bubble baths. I hate it when everything is soapy down there.
Number 3, doodle, color, or draw on some paper.
I ran out of paper 2 weeks ago. And I don't have any space on my walls.
Oh, I see.
S walks around the room to view some of the doodles and poems B had written on the walls. A poem grabs her attention.
The Tree of Life.
B jumps and runs to cover the poem.
Oh, you don't have to read that one. That's just something that I came up with.
Tree of Life wrapped its branches around me. At first, I thought it was giving me a hug, but then I stopped breathing.
Okay. Enough with that. You don't have to read any more. It's just a poem I wrote.
Aren't poems supposed to rhyme?
No, not all of them.
So,
So what?
what is it about?
It's nothing. When I was younger, we had this cherry blossom in our yard, and I used to pick out its bark tips and draw these like inventive flowers on them. And then me and my little sister Lena would plant them around the neighborhood. I used to convince her that if we gave the tree a hug before we planted the tips, that the flowers would blossom to be the size of our house And of course, he believed me. And a little part of me believed me too.
Do you have a good relationship with your sister?
Yeah. I mean, she died when I was young, so I really don't know.
That must have been difficult.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's fine. People die every day. It happened a long time ago.
That must have been difficult for your mother.
Not really. She got pregnant again a couple months after it happened. It was like she couldn't wait to replace her.
Were you mad at her?
I was. But honestly, there came a point where I stopped feeling mad and I just kind of went numb.
Is that why you ran away?
No. Well, yes and no. After a while, I just wanted to feel something again. So one day, I would go down to the tree and grabbed onto the sharp edges of the bark and just tore my hand downwards. Yeah. My mom saw all of it. God, she was screaming so loud. Her voice.
What happened then? What happened then?
She took me to this hospital. I hated it. I hated everything. I hated her so much that I punched her in her stomach. And I just ran. The next day, the cops found me lying by another tree, and I just felt so mad at her for putting me in this situation. And as soon as I could, I ran away again. The funny thing is that I always thought it was her voice that was hurting me, but even when I was far away, I could still hear it.
Call her.
No.
There's no use in raising your voice. Just
No, stop. I hate you.
listen
You
to
were supposed to help me. You were supposed to be there for me.
not your
I have
mother.
nothing, and because of you, I have no one. You did this to me.
Not here right now. No one is here.
B snaps back into reality. It is quiet, but filled with his heavy breaths.
You need to call her.
I can't.
S goes to leave the room, causing B to panic.
No, don't leave. You can't leave me alone. Please, I need your help.
According to Google, in order to find closure, you must give yourself
Who are you?
permission to feel.
Permission to feel? What is that even supposed to mean? Why can't you just talk to me like a person?
Because I'm not a person. I am only here to help. So, let me help you. You have the right to find closure with your mom, but you can't do that if you can't forgive yourself.
I just feel so alone.
But I'm here.
Yeah, but you're not real.
Then tell me to call her.
Okay.
There is a stillness in the room. S hands B the phone. She sits beside him, giving him comfort.
Siri,
How can I help you?
call my mom.
Calling mom.
Blackout. End of play.
Wow. That was amazing. How do you have an entire? Do you have how much? Okay, so when did you start writing this? How long did it take you? And do you have more that we can subscribe and watch?
Thank you. I actually wrote this for at the beginning of like when quarantine started happening. A lot of theaters were trying to do like a virtual kind of COVID related event, and I saw a prompt to kind of just like write a 10-minute play about COVID. And like I said, like I really wanted to, try taking a look at this kind of physical, virus and see how it has impacted so many people on an emotional level. Because, I live at home. So when everything happened, I was okay. But I know a lot of people who they didn't have safe places to go home to. And they also, or they lived alone. And that loss of connection, like human interaction, like really, really affected a lot of people in a really negative way. And I kind of just wanted to capture that moment in a way that like people can relate to it. And I honestly kind of wrote this like a lot of times when I come up with like ideas for plays, I kind of just have to put it all out there, get it all out of my head, and then I can go through and edit it. So it really didn't take me too long to kind of come up with it and kind of workshop it through. But I did write it a couple months ago before I applied for this one.
Are you in school for writing?
I'm a theater major and a psychology major at Rollins. I mean, it makes sense. But
Okay, playwright.
I like doing. I mean, I kind of dabble in a lot of different things in theater, like performance, directing, and playwriting. So I just kind of like exploring all the options. And I'm still at school, so I still have the opportunity to do that in a safe place. So yeah, and I mean, I think just one of the coolest parts I personally like about the kind of concept is just that like what people will go to have like some sort of human connection during these times. And like I feel like even now, like this is an example of that, of like taking theater to a virtual realm and making it happen, even if people aren't, talking to each other face to face.
That was God.
I'm shook. I don't know if you got a chance to see all the people who obviously we have our performers who are commenting on our private performer chat, and they're giving you so much props. But we have Marcus, for example, who's saying, I lost a friend 2 months ago, and this was such much needed to see, so timely to see. Thank you so much for sharing this. Obviously, a lot of people right away, as soon as we came back on after seeing that incredible show, a lot of people were clapping and just sharing their emphatic adulation to that. So thank you for writing that. Props to you. We want to ask you more questions. We have about 7 more minutes of questions to go with you. In the meantime, I just want to remind everyone, yes, to follow Gina Fawaz on Instagram. That's is that the main one you would like people to follow you at?
Yeah, that's okay. Or Facebook. It's under the same name. The Instagram has an extra Z because Gina Fawaz was already taken, so I put an extra Z on my name.
Well, as we dive into the questions, I just want to make sure everyone knows that they can donate. If you were moved and you want to just say thanks as well by providing some kind of monetary contributions, you can text FRINGE to 41444. 41444. Your donation goes 100% to the artist that you see tonight, including Gina. Now, I think why it shook me so much is, your characters were so alive. Even the one that we were discovered afterwards, just like, but your characters were very, very, very much alive. Do you mind letting us know how you found these two actors and that process?
Of course. The two actors are Juan Cabrera and Nicole Ponce. They're two of my friends that are both actors at Rollins as well. And I immediately, like when I was given this opportunity to come and, have it be done on this platform, I immediately contacted both of them because I've seen them both perform in roles in which they really do bring their characters to life in a way that's important, because right now, like, because it's all virtual, you need to be able to like take it extra, you know what I mean? Like go over the like try like 110% just to kind of make sure you grasp people's attention and really make sure people are there to watch. And because it's very easy to get distracted, obviously.
What's that? I gotta fix this.
Look at that. We did not, however. That is the mark, as you said.
And they're phenomenal, and I loved it. And as soon as like we did like the first read through, they really captured like what the characters mean, especially like, for example, in Siri's character, which is what the S stands for. Yeah. Like for her character, I have it where like there are like a lot of lines that Siri does say. And if you like look back at it, like the way that Nicole like says those lines, it's kind of like Siri. But in between is where like the kind of human comes out. And that's because in B's mind, she's the only person he can talk to. So he's trying to humanize this like robot, you know, because it's the only last kind of like connection he has left, and the only person that will respond to him, because he feels, you know, a lot of times, you know, people can feel like, you know, they don't have anyone to reach out to, and Siri is always there if you click the button. So for him, it brought him a comfort to kind of hear someone's voice. And I just really I'm really happy with how it all came out. And our editor, Sam Clark, was amazing too, because she was able to put it all together.
Thank you, Sam.
In a really great way. Go Sam.
That's incredible. I first of all, I wanted to give you props as well for sharing the official Suicide National Prevention Hotline.
Of course.
In the show too, you know.
It's I know. I wanted to, you know, if this show was ever done in person, I kind of have it envisioned where, you know, he's in this room where all the walls are covered with his drawings because, you know, he ran out of paper and he needs to get his emotions out and he doesn't have any more space. And I kind of envision having like the number be very big in the center. And it's just like a helpful reminder, because I know in the past when people put out the number, like people feel like it's more accessible than having to look it up. And, you know, it takes a lot. It's a very difficult journey to getting help. And I just wanted to like make it a bit easier by putting it also at the end, just kind of as a reminder, because maybe people who were watching felt something, and, you know, and you don't have to call the hotline. Even if you're going through something, you can call it if you have someone else who's going through something and you need to talk to someone about it.
Makes sense.
Oh, that's so sweet. I think mental health is especially like really important right now during the virus, and like trying to remember that, you know, everyone's going through it together, and you have people here to feel with you, and you're not alone, even if you can't go out and see people at this time.
Right. Utilize the tricks and equipment that we have, not equipment, but utilize those hotlines in the
those resources.
They're there for you. They're there, and they're there 24 hours, 7 days a week, and they're there to help you, and they do care, you know. It's a good reminder to have.
Yeah, it's a great reminder. Not only did you put it in the end, but you put it for him to, like, you know, say it out. And that's what I was like, I Googled. Then I was like, oh my gosh. So you added context to it. But overall, the story, such a beautiful story.
Thank you.
And it gave us all the feels. It gave us a whole arc of thought as well. We're like, who's this person?
I know.
It's so meta as well, because you were part of it, illustrating it as well. I loved all about it. And if you don't mind sticking around after all the other performances, we'd love to have you back and ask you more questions as a collective. But thank you so much, Gina, for
thank you for everyone for all the nice words.
One more time, everyone. Let's give a big round of virtual applause to Gina.
Thank you.
From Nap Island. And wow. And I actually was going to chat with her about Nap Island, because I think that's the name of my room. I call it Nap Island. That's the production company, by the way, Gina's production company, if y'all were able to see. But we'll talk more to Gina about the show and everything and other subjects later. Tush, how you doing, sis?
I'm doing all right. That was We've had 2 wonderful shows so far, and
Completely different too.
yeah, completely different. Going off. This has been awesome. Thank you all for tuning in to our Fringe First Fridays, number 2.
Number
And
2.
Moving on to our 3rd performance tonight is
3 of 6.
306. What did you say? 306?
No, 3 of 6.
I'm like 306.
I don't know what that is. But up next we have Boldly Blurred Trek by Velvet Wells, all the way
Velvet
from
Duke.
Also known as Velvet Duke.
I will take it all. I will take it all.
Live long and prosper, hailing all the way from Toronto, Canada. I asked him earlier, I said, can you take me, please take me with you? And he said,
no. He said
no.
We just tell y'all we're polite. We're not polite.
Yeah. Velvet, my dear, mon cher, how are you doing?
Very good. I thought those first 2 shows were wonderful. I also echo everybody else in wanting to see them live.
Yeah,
I agree. Like, wow. Okay. Yes. Give me the feels. Give me all of that through the screen.
all of you.
That was wonderful. So tell us about you. Boldly
Sure. I am a musical improviser who has only started to do fringe circuits, and I went out last year. I had a great tour with my first show, and I did a follow-up this year with a sequel to that show. That was Personal Demon Hunter. And then from that, I knew about Orlando. I knew y'all existed, and you said you wanted 10 minutes, and I'm like, there's a portion of this show that I want to share with you. And that is here in Canada. I don't know how it is down where you are, but here in Canada, the idea of being a fan of something, of a TV show, a movie, a comic book, there isn't as big a community for it. And so it's harder to have that pride and that confidence in standing loud and proud with it. So I'm sharing a piece tonight that is very much, I am wearing my fandom flag.
I love it. I couldn't decide if I was going to wear a Star Wars shirt tonight, or I don't have a Star Trek, but I'll work it out.
The number of people, what I like, so I mean, Star Trek is the main show that I perform to, and tonight's show is about that. But the number of people who say, I'm wearing this Star Wars thing in your honor, I'm like, okay. I mean, it doesn't offend me.
It's a thought that counts.
It's not like R2-D2 is running as the captain of a ship. Although, you know what? I would see that, and I would read that fan fiction. So
I would watch. I would do that. I'm a kind of a quiet closet friend. Yeah. I not fringer, but the culture
fanatic of it. Yeah,
fanatic. Yeah.
And that's cool. I mean, even just saying it a little bit. Like even the idea of saying it a little bit, we have to get used to that. We have to, maybe get a little bit louder each time, because there are so many of us who do have a passion for it, but so many other voices have tried to quiet or quell it.
Well, I love Dungeons and Dragons. That's also a specific kind of fan.
Let's roll up a game. I got you.
Yes, boo. We all raise our flags in honor of you. We welcome you. Thank you so much for applying. I know you have a special guest as well, who will probably join us after. Am I making stuff up?
Marcus has
making it up. Never mind.
I mean, look, I do improv, so I'm cool for a surprise ending.
But you like to bring someone else.
It'll be a surprise for them too.
What's going on? No, but speaking of live, you will be performing live, right?
I absolutely will. Yes.
This is great.
So, thank you. The stage is yours. Without further ado,
take it away.
Thank you. I'm wearing a white Star Trek TNG formal jacket that was designed by Andy Wells. And before you ask, no, I do not have the dreadlocks out of beads to go with it. Now, I'm wearing it because Star Trek is central to my journey for inner peace, to find a future out there where embracing and expressing Black joy isn't an act of revolution. Now, my tricorder scans determined that some of your eyes have already glazed over, signs that you are not a Trekkie. Fascinating. Star Trek is all about infinite diversity, so feel free to sit back and let the dulcet tones of my velvet voice wash over you. Also, go ahead and just assume the Star Trek references that you don't understand are so witty that even Spock would crack a smile. Start with that one. That was pretty good. The premise of Star Trek is, after a devastating war, humans got wise and they solved for their pettiness. Humans get along. Now unified, they expand out into the universe, looking to bring others into their club. Now, I know it's fiction. I like the idea that the other species are just out there hovering around the edge of the solar system, waiting for us to solve for anti-Black racism. Star Trek fans always ask this question: who is your captain? There's Janeway and Sisko, Picard and Archer, Kirk, Pike and Georgiou, and for some reason Lorca. Tell me, do you recall your favorite captain of all? The captain's command style in each Star Trek franchise is a mirror of the morality themes that writers are going to tackle. For some of my friends, original Star Trek is the only true Star Trek. La 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 da 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 da. They either see qualities of themselves in Captain James Tiberius Kirk, or they want to be friends with him, or they want to see James T. Kirk in them. I watched the reruns of the original series as a kid, but I didn't like the arrogance of that captain, or the racism or the sexism of the show. As an Aquarian, I liked Spock, the emotion-controlled, logical outsider who got to comment on humanity's faults. I was fascinated with Lieutenant Nyota Uhura, someone with darker complexion than me, on the bridge. I wanted to see more from her than some interracial kiss. It got better for her in the movies. But more than her beauty, it was her intelligence and her ability to speak so many languages that captivated me. As an adult, I understood the writers of the time trying to incorporate Black people in the televised universe. But that was white savior logic, because we have always been here in this universe. Now, I loved the silliness of the Tribbles. However, there was no peace for me in the original series. The Next Generation was the franchise that sold me on Star Trek. I love it. It always comes at this moment. But I love you. I love you, TNG. I truly love you. I hope that made up for it. For so many people, Captain Jean-Luc Picard was the space daddy, but the two characters that actually had me check out the show were Michael Dorn as Lieutenant Worf and LeVar Burton as Lieutenant Geordi LaForge. Unfortunately, in white space, neither character was treated with equity. While they had prestigious commands, their stories were filled with microaggressions, and they were so trauma-centered. So TNG, I love you, I do, but there was still no peace here for me. And then came Deep Space Nine. Dun, 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 dun. dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Now, I could do more of it, but in season 4, they changed the theme song. But in DS9, finally, a black character was given on-screen command, and he and his crew got into it about politics and religion, racism, each other. Here, finally, was my Star Trek home. Avery Brooks as Captain Benjamin Sisko commanded the crew, kept enemies at bay. Oh, he had to deal with both being a prophet and a Federation captain. And Sisko knocked Q out so hard that he not only left the quadrant, he jumped to a different franchise. My Star Trek captain can take your Star Trek captain. Yeah, there were colonial and patriarchal attitudes entrenched in the show. And yes, when Worf came aboard, the writers kept his narrative hyper-focused on trauma. But hear me when I say how heart-healing and joyful it was to watch the Siskos, father, son, grandfather. Others consider Kirk, McCoy, and Spock the holy trinity of Star Trek. But those 3 black men figuring out how to live positively post-trauma, they were mine. If CBS made a spin-off show of those 3 characters, the Siskos, it could be a drama, it could be a comedy, it could be a podcast. I would give them all of my gold-pressed latinum in a heartbeat. I wanted to live and breathe this futuristic sci-fi life of DS9. In 2013, I followed my dreams to try and make it so. First of all, I almost signed up for the Mars One expedition. I would boldly go with the first group of civilians to live on Mars. Now, as it turns out, the Mars One expedition was as fictional as DS9. No, it was worse. It was an international marketing scheme. Since being housebound, due to compromised immune systems and COVID, I've reflected on how group lonely I've become after just a few months. I'm not prepared for the lonely, vast emptiness of space, the final frontier. If I couldn't find inner peace up there, out there, then I had to do what everyone else had to do. I had to find it here on Earth. So in 2013, my partner and I, we created Holodeck Follies, a show where we improvise made-up Star Trek episodes with our friends. Now, Holodeck Follies is a comedy show, so we get to make bold choices like Michael Burnham, or sometimes like Guinan. We drop some knowledge. And maybe we get an audience member or two to even raise an eyebrow in appreciation. My character is Captain Tachyon Field. He isn't the most virtuous hero of Starfleet. I'm not that fanboy, but he isn't on the Admiral's track to being a villainous leader either. And most importantly, there is no black trauma to appease the white Star Trek audience. Tachyon is an engineer like Geordi LaForge or B'Elanna Torres, getting his hands dirty, trying to save the day. Or a scientist like Richard Daystrom and Dr. Lily Sloan, using critical thinking to save the day. Or a leader like Cassidy Yates and Benjamin Sisko, delegating work to save the day. Although change is slow and some claim resistance is futile. Carrying on the traditions of Star Trek by pretending to be one of its black leaders, out there, up there, out there, has been an enjoyable way for me to create inner peace through black joy. Now, Star Trek is starting to tell better stories for futuristic black people. There are more of us in the captain's chairs in writing rooms and directors' guilds, behind the scenes and on screen. And the more places we can tell our hopeful, futuristic stories, the more opportunities today's Black fans have to blurred long and prosper. Captain's Log Supplemental. People ask my opinion of other Star Trek franchises like Voyager, Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, Galaxy Quest. Send me a subspace message and we can deep dive into any of them. Thank you.
Bravo! Bravo, Velvet!
That's right. Very interesting piece about the colorism and other isms of Star Trek. Wow. I realized that I stopped watching Star Trek probably the Next Generation was my end. And then I was like, well, I got to go to work, so I can't pay attention. And my uncle used to actually call me, for whatever reason, I think my uncle used to call me Worf because I can have a large forehead, but he used to be Worf. Oh, what's going on, Worf?
I thought it was because you had so much honor.
Oh.
You're adopted.
I wish you were my
Come on, fam.
Micah,
I commend you again. Back in the fold.
There's the comments from Micah. No Black trauma to a piece. That's stuff.
Thank you.
The story's beautiful. I also loved, one of the things that I loved is that you would plug in specific things that deep fanatics of the show would pick up, but also people who wouldn't know the show would contextually understand what you're saying. When you were talking about the gold press Latinum.
Yeah.
and etc. It's just great storytelling to have all the props and all the.
Oh my gosh!
I had more, but I only have two hands. I literally nope, drop it. It's only 10 minutes. Let it go.
Now, let me ask you this. Most of these props now, were these specific for the show, or are these part of your expression of the fandom to the show? So you have like a collection.
The costumes. So as I said, with Holodeck Follies, we've been running for 8 years now. So we have done different iterations of our stage uniforms, and my partner created them. They're replicas of the live thing, but in a very quick time, they created each of these pieces. This one I specifically demanded. As a captain, I needed some formal captain wear.
Yes.
But in terms of props, the only other prop that was made for the show is the Tribble. And at one point, for those who don't know, Tribbles replicate very quickly. But in this case, again, my partner made these and it took a long time. So we only have a handful left because so many people wanted to buy them or have them as a gift. This was given to me as a gift because my kid knew that I love Star Trek and they love me.
I love it. So there, you did mention at the end of Sheree say clap, clap, clap. I would totally go to this show in May. If you're interested, so please apply. We would love to have you here in the Orlando Fringe Festival. But also you did mention
go live on October 30th.
That's right.
So the applications for our Fringe Festival, it's the 30th Fringe Festival, but it goes on October 3rd. October 1st.
Come on, Worf. Come on, Worf.
Count them out.
And just a reminder as well, we encourage donations to these incredible artists. Just text Fringe to 41444. And let me ask you, is the Holodeck Follies, are you doing anything virtually or are you doing anything live? Is there, how can people continue to follow you beyond? I was going to say.
So these are all my socials, but Holodeck Follies, it lives with the Dandies. That's the troupe that we started up. But if you go online and type in Holodeck Follies, you're going to find us we're all over. Right now we do every other Saturday. We just did it this past Saturday, so it'll be in a week and a couple of days. So it's every other Saturday through the Dandies. We're on Twitch and YouTube and all of those too.
Oh, perfect.
So definitely we've captured some episodes recently that you can go and watch in anticipation, or you can join us live in a week and a bit.
Nice.
Perfect. We love it. So you did mention at the end of your show how things are changing, how things are getting more progressive. Where do you think they are now when it comes to the Star Trek universe and the current political system worldwide?
So I still have the bucket list of being on the show someday, so I'm not going to say everything I believe, but but having a show centered around Michael Burnham and her journey was groundbreaking. And because, yes, there is some trauma in her, I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but there is some trauma attached to that. But her storyline, eventually the trauma catches up, but it's not who and what she is about. Unlike Picard, where for me, that was a problematic character that they had on Picard. So I think that as more shows get developed, they are going to understand that they can write them in different ways. They can bring on different writers and directors. And again, with Discovery, they were bringing on other writers who knew their stuff and telling our stories better. So I think that is the trajectory. It can only be that trajectory unless revolution in the real world topples how much goes out there. Hopefully it topples for the better, but corporations like to have their control. So, Star Trek is about hope. So we're going to stay with the hope side of things and say it is only going to get better, and my bucket list will be fulfilled someday.
Yes. We love you, dude. We love you. We have one more question, if that's okay, because you did mention how Star Trek was central to your journey for inner peace. And that relates to me because I know when Corona started, I fell in love with D&D as a 30-year-old. I didn't know this world until recently, and I dove in. And there's so much lore. There's such a world, but it helps me and helps all of us who are fans have an extra lens of how to view this world. So how understanding that and understanding how Star Trek has helped you, how would you express or encourage the importance of deep worlds like this to help us understand our world to other people who probably don't have a fandom as we do?
I would start when I first started out, I would say that I didn't have any favorites. Like, it was hard for me to attach to a favorite because everybody had so many opinions on what was acceptable. And so I really had to discover that for myself. And in rewatching all of the different franchises as research for the show, for Holodeck Follies show, I realized it's like, no, I really gravitate more to this one. Why is that? Well, because I'm seeing myself on screen. I think that, it's so important to see yourself on screen. And obviously I am not Cisco. I'm not I'm not Jake for sure. I am probably anyway, doesn't matter. That's a deep dive. But finding yourself, finding a way to reflect the material that's there for yourself and internalizing that as this is okay to embrace and hold on to it. And also to accept that some of it's problematic. Yeah. And that is life. Life is not black and white. And I think that for me, Star Trek does that fairly well. It acknowledges and it kind of leans into, this is kind of crummy. But of the crumminess, what is that best solution that we can come up with? And they don't always hit the mark, but when they do, they really do. And so I would say to people who are looking for something to give them comfort and joy, it's look around you. Like, look at what patterns you've already established for yourself. And for not everybody is it going to be something on TV or in a movie. For some people, it's going to be a craft of some sort, or it's going to be music, or it's going to be, I don't know, like somebody said the other day, they were collecting bus transfers. Like, if that works for you, let it work for you, and don't worry so much about whether it works for somebody else. And also don't worry so much about if it makes you money at the end of the day, because so few things that bring joy also bring money.
Velvet Duke, we love you.
That I'm a performer.
Yes. Brother Duke, would you stick around after all these shows just to talk a little bit more? Okay, great.
For sure.
Well, we hope you receive the thunderous applause that's happening right now from the hundreds of people, thousands of people that are watching right now. Thank you so much for that incredible performance. We love you, Velvet Duke from Toronto. Live long and prosper. We will see you very shortly. Up next, we have Matt and Andrea, right? Yeah. And the name of the show is
Three-Way Love, a Love Spears Requiem.
What's up?
Yeah.
Jackie.
Velvet Duke, we're not worthy.
I like how he just gave us all permission to fully realize that Spockisms, those Picard, like I was a fan, but now it's y'all's turn, and we'll get to Velvet in a minute. In a few minutes.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Fringe First Friday. Andrea.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us. So do you we have two people here with us tonight.
Yes, I'm glad you came. I was kind of concerned. I was like, where is she?
It's been one of those days. It's been one of those days.
We're grateful. We're so grateful to have you here with us. I'm glad it worked out. And Andrea, you're the director of this performance, correct? Of the show?
Yes, one of them. Mott's the other one, but yes. That's the official title I've been given.
She's being modest.
Mott, did you write this? Did you write it? Mott,
yes, I co-wrote it, and Andrea co-wrote it.
Okay,
we both
so
co-wrote it.
And directing. Okay.
And where are you both right now for our Orlando Fringe viewers and people all over the world who are watching?
Well, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Awesome.
Today, I am in Oklahoma City, Edmond, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yep. By way of Los Angeles. I'm usually all over the place, so.
Yes, I love it. We love traveling. Okay, so why don't we let our viewers know a little bit about how the two of you met, and then we talk a little bit about the show before we dive in.
Ooh, well, I'll give you the short end of that story. Mm-hmm. I met Andrea in 2016 when I was doing another play in Los Angeles for, I believe it was at the Complex, I believe, for those who are in the Los Angeles area. And she auditioned. And interestingly enough, she turned out to be more of a backstage stage manager assistant as opposed to being an actress, because for some reason the person that you had, Andrea, to do the tickets or whatever didn't show up, and she stepped in to do that, and 4 years later she's part of Mythology Productions.
Yes. We love to have you both here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the show. It's called Three-Way Love.
Yeah, Andrea, want to take that on?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like Marcus said, we met a few years ago on another production that I was supposed to be an actress in Los Angeles. A little bit about Three-Way Love is its premise is based off of an artist. And we decided to take his life story and add to it and create and kind of make this entanglements. That's the word we're using today.
Yes, I think it's Smith.
Oh, I'm intrigued. So.
Yes, it's definitely an entanglement of relationships that we created. It's based off of, like I said, the main character. His name is Willie, or say again.
Was inspired by Basquiat.
Yes.
Ooh. Did I get that right, Matt?
Matt, did I get it right?
He got it. He got the name right.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Jean Basquiat.
He was supposed to have a report done. He was supposed to have a report, but we'll let it slide. We'll give him an E for
Andrea, I was supposed to get a presentation, but so it's inspired by him. It has to do with an entanglement. Right. I love it. Anything else? Any other way?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was going to say this is just a 10-minute version of it. This is the last
Right.
two scenes of the
Okay.
play, and I renamed it Love Spear's Requiem, dealing with, as people who know about requiems, is all about tributes and to the dead. So I'll just leave it like that.
Great.
I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil it.
The original play
yeah.
is actually almost 90 minutes. We've performed it virtually on a couple other friends earlier this year, got rave reviews, and it's just been requested and requested and requested and requested. So you guys are getting a very short snippet of it.
Oh my God. Gave me the chills right now.
I know.
Yeah.
We're excited. Thank you for letting us view, this 10-minute version. We are definitely going to talk about how we can all have the accessibility to the larger version. Hopefully you get to submit for other mediums here at the Orlando Fringe. But for now, we have you here performing for 10 minutes. Let's get it from Ada and Andrea performing Three-Way Love. Love Spears.
Spears Requiem.
We're dancing until it comes on. We're dancing until it comes on. Everybody dance. Everybody dance.
My gratitude, Father Kinwood, for your hospitality. It's as right as the rain trying to stop its fall.
No problem, William. This Chablis and this draft of poetry shall keep me occupied a spell. Shall I pour you a drop?
That would be affirmative to my liking.
Well, no, I have your dry clothes in my boudoir for you. I have some washroom accessories as well. Oh, and William, I hope that I am not assuming that you will be spending the evening and the dawn with me. So you shouldn't be needing those clothes after the sun kisses us to awaken. Slow
Pour
down.
me another. I'd like to take this draft in solitary as I think beyond this life.
So you found your pathway? You know silence has never been heard in a chorus of screams.
But it forces you to become what is true.
So what is your truth?
Have you ever thought, if you're forced to travel far beyond the heavens to become an atom for the next century, who would you portray?
Now, is that your truth, or is it the fiction?
Both.
Well, to be honest, I would come back as Mother Teresa with a makeover. And you?
I think I would just perish. Who would want to come back to a contemplated purgatory and remain?
Where is this coming from?
I think I would just perish because who would want to continue not knowing who their biological counterparts are? I was just orphaned, just fostered.
It's going to be okay.
And then you come along and you validate the worth of my life. Why validate the worth of my life?
Oh, don't hold that broken mirror to your face. It was not your fault. You had no precedent over the beginning of your time. Somebody out there, they gave life to you. They just did not keep your eyes open long enough for you to see it transpire. But don't haste on that undecorated day. When your greatness came, when you wrote your signature to my lineage.
But you gave me love, Spear.
Yes.
I was in bliss with the life I had as keep on the street poet, the street graffiti artist, tagging up walls. My feet were tattered, but not my hands that were skinned in wealth. And then you make me your immaculate ball of clay.
Immaculate you were.
And I become simultaneously cursed.
Cursed? By me? Oh, William, I saved you. And now all you ever want to do is chase after that frigid wife of yours, Sharon, Shireen, whatever it is you call her. It makes no difference. And the other half of the time, you're missing, gone, off with some coked out barista. Don't think I don't know her name. It's Robin Barone.
Robin Masters. You do not know.
I run deep, son. Yeah? So what? So are you forsaking me? Is that what is happening here? You are ungrateful indeed. Do you not know that the conditions that define us have a shelf life that can be voided?
Voided?
Ha!
Voided?
Is that part of your narrow-minded acumen?
Did?
Narrow-minded? Oh, very. Sometimes I don't even know why I scooped you in that limo.
The answer is here, Mr. Kenwood. Father.
What is that even
Rain has made it clear. I don't want to hear it anymore. I've got to move on. Move on where I belong. I can't stay here with a flat note in my soul.
You're scaring
In
me
my
now.
soul. Father, would you like to know the secret of that song?
William, what in the world are you talking about now?
Come here.
Oh my gosh, child, I swear sometimes. What is it? Loves me. Why?
Wow! Is everyone muted? Can you hear you?
I'm muted. Oh my goodness. I need to see this
I'm unmuted.
thing.
So in other words, he's involved, he's married. He also has a side chick.
Coked out barista.
The barista.
The barista, I was like, oh, Miss Barone. Oh, okay.
And then his adopted father, who basically picked him up off the street, made him famous, has ulterior motives with him as well. And he just gets wrapped up in all these different relationships.
Entangled.
And he doesn't know which way to go. Entangled in all three of these relationships and doesn't know which way to go.
I believe there was another minute left. Is that correct? Because it didn't end necessarily there. There's just a little bit more. And Matt, you're muted. I don't know if you can hear us. So let's go back to that moment. I know we jumped the gun.
There we go.
because it shook us.
Yeah, we had a part two. We got a part two.
Let's pull back. Everyone, I know that shook everyone. Get your water. You're welcome. We wanted to give you a breath break where you. Okay, so let's reconvene and go back to the following part of this incredible story.
Part two.
We'll do the dance again. Yeah. Dance, everybody. We are live and things are happening, but we're telling stories.
That's fun.
On to charge of murder into first degree. We, the jury, find a defendant, William Jean Stretford Kenwood, guilty.
Your Honor, please. I was reborn as Love Spear. Reborn. A new beginning. And I lived a life as Keep On. A good life. Fantastic life. Then circumstances are I'm about to die as William. Please no. Please no. Please. No!
So that's the actual ending. As you see, the requiem I was telling you about, the death of Love Spear, the name, the death of him, the death of his mentor. Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on. The physical death and the metaphorical death. Very Shakespearean, as you hear from the characters. Very Shakespearean-esque. Yes.
Father.
Yeah.
The message was akin to Shakespearean dialect. No, I loved it. Can we talk briefly about the actors? I want to be in your show. I want to be one of the lovers.
Yeah. Watch out, Micah. Micah is on the chat. Micah, he's one of the main characters. Micah, watch out. We might have a understudy for you right here. This guy up here.
Or your brother or whatever. Brother lover.
So our actors, that you just saw, they are in our chat room right now. We have Vincent Samuel, Michael Bijan, and we also have Mike as well, our judge, Mike Billups. Yes.
Vincent
he plays the juror. Yeah.
I'm in love.
I was just going to say, seeing Vincent Samuel's picture pop up.
And I'm like, oh, hello.
Cesar put down his ice cream. He put down his ice cream and said, oh, okay. Hello.
Yeah, that picture is very, very not him. You know, now I don't know where he got that profile pic from. But, you know, he's definitely not that.
What up, Vincent? We love you. Thank you for your performance. So, do you mind again saying the actors that we had and the players the characters they performed?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we had Micah Bijan, who played William / Keep On / Love Spear, who did
Say
the
something,
nice.
Micah.
Yeah, say something. Let me see you.
Oh, that was Michael that chimed up earlier in the chat.
Yes, that was him. Yeah, that was him.
Thanks, Bracer Gold. Thank you, Micah.
That's Bracer Gold. Then we have Vincent Chenzo Samuels, who played Father Kenwood, his mentor. And then we had yes,
Pop-up Vincent.
very intense.
Yes.
And we have Mike Billups, who played the juror who read the verdict. So those are 3 of the 5, 4, 3,
2.
How many people? We had 2 separate casts, so they were
so
3
5
of
characters total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have our barista and our wife that's in the full version of the play.
Right.
Now, was this performance ever done live, or did we all have to rehearse and prepare just for a virtual medium?
All virtual.
And how was that?
Yeah, all virtual.
Our productions, we usually rehearse virtual anyway because we're all over the place. Micah's in LA right now. Vincent and Mike are in Georgia, Atlanta. I'm in Oklahoma, Mott's in St. Louis. So we always do our rehearsals virtual, and then we meet to do on stage. But this year, to work with the social distancing and everything like that, we had to figure out how to create this whole stage scene virtually. And it worked out. I didn't believe it at first, but Marcus was like, it's gonna work. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
I think
the only drawback is the Wi-Fi. That's the only drawback that we had is Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's cool to see it that way, especially during a time when everything has become virtual. I think our minds register content. We're more open to receive it. It feels like, we're watching a show on Hulu or a show, our bodies don't do any kind of like prevention. We're like, oh, we receive it as that. And I also love that it is virtual too, because, creative restrictions yield creative results, knowing that you have to do it through virtual medium. It's like, okay, well, now we know that this is our restrictions. Let's work around it. And I think that is the measure of a great team. So props to you, to both of you.
They pulled it off. They really did pull it off, connecting with each other through the screen as if they were on stage. A lot of cross-screen actions, handing stuff through the screens.
The pouring.
So proud of our cast.
Yes, the pouring, the stabbing,
more than that.
The stabbing.
Yeah, the stabbing.
Yes.
He was like, no. I felt him falling as he said, no.
Now,
I even wanted to get up and get more popcorn, as we took our impromptu commercial break. I felt like I wanted to get up and hurry up and get back to my show and unpause and get it out there. So I hope you all take the opportunity to put an application in for the Fringe Festival, and we could see the whole.
We can.
You can totally
be invited, right?
They open on October 1st, so please.
Because our women are feisty.
We got a whole new lottery system going on. I don't want to call it diversity lottery, but it is a diversity lottery, and I think this is the perfect type show to put in
to apply for. Yes, and bring those boys. That'd be great. I'm in love. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say they're beautiful.
If you love the boys, wait till you see our women playing Shireen and Robin.
Yeah, they're eye candy. They're not eye candy.
My God, add me on Facebook.
Our whole cast.
My God, add me on Facebook.
Our whole cast.
Got the Lucas on the cast. Okay, Cesar, sit down.
Okay, sorry. I know. I'm gonna drink. This is why I brought this water, because I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we want to thank you both, Andrea and Matt, for being here with us. Would you mind sticking around and watch the rest of the shows with all of us, and then come back?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah.
Before we go on to the next group, we do want to get your socials, your social media input. How can people continue finding stuff? I know I already told Mike to add me on Facebook, so that's A-okay. But for the two of you.
Yeah.
There we are.
I believe it's going to be scroll down soon underneath us, but Facebook is Marcus, Marcus .Atkins, Atkins. Oh, there we go. Facebook, Marcus.Atkins. Instagram is @MaatSpear. And Twitter is the same, MAATSPEAR. And Cash App is MaatSpear as well.
Yes. Also, in addition to that, if all of you are loving these shows, make sure you text Fringe to 41444. 100% of that goes to these artists. So thank you once again, my aunt and Andrea. We love you so much.
Andrea Jacobs too. You can see her, find her on Facebook too. Andrea Jacobs, AndreaJacobs. Andrea Jacobs, the director.
Thank you both. And Micah. I'm in love. With a wonderful guy. All right.
Sorry, Brian. You're yesterday's news.
Yesterday's news, Brian. I love Brian too. I love everybody. After I just announced my love for Micah, Lindsay was like, Cesar loves everybody, and did like an eye roll.
Everybody, every day.
Every day. It's so wonderful. I just felt something, about feeling something, about feeling things too. We're actually, I'm excited to receive all the feels we're gonna have for our next show and our next performer. Who's coming up next, sis?
Next up, we have Christy Taiwo Makanjola, and her show is called Temptation.
My God.
Welcome.
Hello.
Well, Christy, be careful because Cesar is on the prowl.
I'm screaming. I've been crying all show.
You liking the show? You liking the show so far? How are you doing? How are you?
I'm good. A little nervous, to be honest, but I'm good. You guys are doing great. Great hosts. I'm laughing. And the other shows are amazing.
Yeah. They are really amazing, aren't they? I mean, first time. We'll get into that a little bit later. Tell us a little bit about you.
About me. Okay. I'm Christy, Nigerian American actor, director, playwright. I don't really like to use the title playwright. I just write.
Use
sometimes. Sometimes.
Sprinkling it today. We love it.
Sometimes.
This is the place to do it. We're like.
So yeah, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Come on, B4.
Yeah, lovely. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys want to know? I don't know what else to say.
Caesar?
I've been called out. I've been called out for loving everyone. I was just gonna say how beautiful you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, first of all, your show is Temptation. This is your first time as everyone else applying for the Orlando Fringe. So thank you so much for being part of this space with all of us. It's been great getting to chat with you before the show, and we're excited to hear about Temptation. Now, have you performed the show before applying to Orlando Fringe?
I know I did a rehearsal when I was in university with it, and possibly, I cannot remember if it was this show or if it was another piece that I wrote that I did like a quick run through. It was a very casual thing.
Yeah.
So let's say possibly I have played this before.
How long did you say you written it?
I wrote it 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah. So this was actually the first piece I ever wrote. So
Really?
And it's still a working play, to be honest. So.
I love that. It's a love. It's a craft of love. The very first one. So, are there any? I know we didn't get to ask on the previous show, but are there any things we need to watch out for? Any asterisks of like death or like self-harm or anything like that? Just to let our viewers know.
No, nothing death or self-harm. Maybe a little vulgar language, but that's about it.
That's okay. That's the phrase.
Okay. Love it.
Now, and this is, will you be doing this live or?
It's a recording. So I had 3 actors. I met them. We all went to school together, University of Maryland, and they were so lovely enough to agree to read for me via Zoom. So Zoom has its own technicalities, which is very interesting. Zoom theater.
Right.
Love it.
Well,
we love it.
Yeah, we're excited to dive into that experience for you after the show, but for now we're going to dive into the world of Temptation. So just give a moment to hear that. That's Orlando Fringe applauding for you. So excited for the show. Do you feel that? That's the love they have for you right here.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Without further ado, here is Temptation by Christy. Dance, 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 everybody dance.
I forgot.
Open to Tamara's bedroom. Two friends sit on opposite sides of a bed, chatting and scrolling on their phones. Soft music plays in the background. Books and binders are spread out on the floor. The sun is about to set, and Tamara and Aaliyah are high school seniors. She reaches for her binder.
You should probably get some of this project done before your mom comes to get you, because this is a huge part of our final grade. We need to put the work in.
Looks at her phone and chuckles.
Yeah, sure.
Girl, what's so funny?
Nothing. The project. Let's do it.
They open their textbooks and begin taking notes. A minute later, a load of incoming notifications comes through Aaliyah's phone. Tamara grabs her phone.
Girl, who's blowing up your phone?
Chill, give me back my phone.
Wait, who is Michael? Girl, wait. Fuck me, lick me. Girl, I want to take you out. What?
You know what? Really? Don't touch my phone.
Girl, relax. You've been acting weird for the past 2 weeks, being all secretive and shit. And I just want to know who's been hitting you up, and now I do. So who is Michael?
A friend.
A friend from where? So now you can't speak? Like, I read the messages. He's clearly not just some friend, because the way baby boy is talking. Talking like he's trying to take split out.
I met him on Pick Me. Ugh, get off my back.
Girl, the dating app?
Yeah, and?
I mean, nothing. I'm just kind of shocked. I didn't think you were a pick me kind of girl, but okay, I'm joking. But for real, why are you on this app?
Well, I was on it to, explore the universe and what it had to offer outside of the childish boys in our school. But I'm really feeling this Michael guy, and I think he's feeling me too. I mean, how could you not? I'm great.
Okay, so how long you guys been talking?
Like a week or two?
You've been talking to this nigga for 2 weeks and forgot to tell me? Wow, sis. I thought we was besties.
No, I was gonna tell you.
Sure. So how old is this Michael guy?
Girl, let me tell you how great he is. So we are into a lot of the same things. He's really funny and fine. Girl, did I mention he is fine? Oh, and he got the lip. It says he drives a Beamer. And the best part is he has a job. No more broke boys.
Okay, but how old is he?
He's like a little older. I mean, like 34 or whatever. But he was taking me on a date this Friday, so it's lit.
Girl, what the hell? You really must be a comedian, huh?
I'm being serious.
You can't actually be on board with this.
Why wouldn't I be? Did you not just hear everything I said?
Aaliyah, what kind of 34-year-old boy, I guess a man, would want to hear from a 17-year-old girl or see a 17-year-old girl, a senior in high school? Like, please explain to me, because I'm just a little confused. Like, let's just take a minute to ask ourselves. Don't get me wrong, you are great, but does he not know any girls his damn age? Like, this is the weird shit you be seeing on TV.
See, this is why I didn't want to tell you. I knew you would start doing this.
I'm not doing anything except thinking logically, like a normal person.
Honestly, this is none of your business anyway. Don't know why you always feel the need to be so negative when I should have your support.
Everything about this just sounds odd, and I don't know how you don't see that.
What the fuck is wrong with you? This dude likes me, has a car, has money. What's odd about it? Like, how are you not, like, how is this not lit?
I think what's clouding your judgment is that he has money. Like, it's quite unbelievable. Money only excites broke girls anyway, so I don't. Look, I mean, you've got 2 days until the date, so I think you should really take some time and think about it, and maybe then you'll see what I'm talking about, because I really just don't think you should go.
Yeah, well, thank God you're not my mother.
sweetie. I'm just looking out for you, as always.
Yeah, you know what? How about I finish this project on my own? I got this, as always.
Aaliyah packs up her books and leaves. She slams the bedroom door behind her. In front of the door, she takes a deep breath and reads a text. Walking towards the front door, she giggles silently.
He's perfect.
Fade out. Open to Tamara's bedroom. It's Saturday morning, 1:17 a.m. Tamara is watching Netflix on her bed. She looks at her phone as if she's expecting a call or a text message. She puts the phone down, disappointed, but continues watching her movie. 5 minutes later, there's a knock on the front door. She answers the door.
Oh, hi, Miss Catherine.
Hey, Tamara, I know it's late, but is Aaliyah here? She's not answering her phone and she didn't come home last night.
No, she's not. Is everything okay?
You know where she might be? Her phone is going straight to voicemails. It's not like her not to call or text me.
No, I don't. When's the last time you heard from her?
She texted me when I was at work that she was going to hang out with.
Did she say who?
No. I assumed she was going to be with you. Do you know anything about this? About where she could be?
Tamara appears to be distracted. She is not present, as if her mind is someplace else. Catherine tries to get Tamara's attention.
Tamara? Hello, Tamara, do you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm sorry. I have to go now.
Tamara quickly slams her door shut. Catherine tries to get another word in before the door is shut in her face, but she's unsuccessful.
Okay, if you hear anything, please let me know.
Catherine walks away from Tamara's house. Tamara peeks out the window to see if she's outside. The coast is clear. She takes a deep breath, trying to process all her thoughts, and she tries giving Aaliyah a call.
Aaliyah, where are you?
She dials. The phone rings a few times. You've reached the voice box of 443-635-76. Hangs up.
Why did you go?
Lights fade. Open to Tamara's house the next morning. Tamara has been trying to contact Aaliyah for hours, but still no luck. She begins to contemplate whether to tell Catherine what she knows. Catherine knocks on the door. Tamara opens her door. She's teary-eyed.
Hey, sorry, you were acting really weird earlier, and please, if you know anything at all, you have to tell me. She's my only daughter. I can't.
Welcome in.
Do you know anything at all? Please, if you do. I just don't understand what happened. I talked to all her friends. No one's had any plans to meet up with her last night. The police think she might have run away, but I can't write a report until 24 hours, so I have to head over there now after I leave here. But why would she just run away like this? It's not like her at all. I know I'm always at work and things are just starting to, but she should have just.
Miss Catherine, I don't think she ran away. There's something that I think you should know, and I think you should take a seat.
What are you talking about? Tamara, please. It's okay. Whatever it is, you can tell me.
Okay. Well, I don't think Aaliyah ran away because I think she might have been taken or something.
Taken? Taken by who? How?
I think she went on a date with a guy named Michael, and I think he might have kidnapped her or something. I don't know. The date was supposed to be last night, and I didn't think she was actually gonna go.
Oh my God.
I didn't think she was gonna go, and then I didn't hear from her, so I assumed that she just listened to me and just didn't go.
Okay. Who is this Michael? Does he go to your school?
No, he's 34.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. Are you serious right now? Why didn't you say any of this before? This is why you were so quick to get me out yesterday.
I didn't want to say anything because when you pulled up to my place, I was surprised, and then I saw you I put two and two together, and I just thought that maybe you would find her. And I've been trying to reach her. I've been trying to call her ever since you came by. She just hasn't been answering my call.
You wait so long to tell me something so important. She's my only daughter. Do you realize that?
I'm sorry.
My daughter is missing, Tamara. How could you be so?
I'm really sorry.
You need to come with me to the station. They're going to need a description of this man.
I don't know what he looks like.
Of course you don't. You know what? I don't care. This is my daughter we're talking about. You're going to tell the police everything you just told me. Grab your stuff. I'm going to call your mom and let her know.
You're going to call my mom?
You know I really can't deal with this right now. My child, your best friend is out there and has been missing for damn near 24 hours. Grab your stuff. You're going to the police. You're going to tell them everything you just told me.
Catherine exits. Tamara begins to locate her belongings. She takes a deep breath before exiting. She calls Aaliyah one more time. The phone dials. This time, the phone goes straight to voicemail. Tamara's eyes widen.
I really hope you're okay.
Tamara exits, lights out.
Is she okay?
Oh my God, I need to know everything. I need to know everything. Wonderful.
Thank you.
First of all, give me drama.
God.
Give me acting.
Love it.
We didn't ask about it beforehand. I realized, we've been asking for a small description before. And we didn't do it this time, and we just threw right into it. And I was like,
Man. Kumar.
Right, come on. Cliffhanger. She got me dangling over here. Where is she? I'm thinking to call the.
Everyone is telling you what happened.
What
Even
happened?
Joyce is like, no.
No.
Oh my goodness.
This is a kind of serious question. Was it something that you witnessed firsthand? What made you? It inspired you to write this? Something like.
No, actually, it was. Let me try to think back to my 2 years ago.
I don't want to say experienced firsthand, but maybe just saw.
No, it wasn't necessarily that. I didn't draw from personal experience. It was more of I'm very big into like very high school shows for some reason. I know 210, Gossip Girl, all those.
Riverdale.
Riverdale, I'm a girl. So, but one thing I noticed was that I wasn't seeing people that like looked like me, many of them. Black individuals who, would be in high school or be very young adults and just, I don't know, deal with whatever they're dealing with in life. So at the time, it was, I think a lot of my friends and like a lot of people around me in my classes were using dating apps, Tinder, all that great stuff. I was like, what could really, pop off on Tinder? And I don't know, my mind kind of just went there. Like, what if you were messaging someone that was so much older than you and like one day you ended up missing? And that kind of was the inspiration. So it was kind of just a creative thing.
I'm okay. So first of all, I was just kind of blown away about people in high school on dating apps. Like, what? That's mind blowing to me. That's new to me. But who are your actors? First of all, that is the big question on everyone out there. That's the question on their mind. Who are your actors?
My actors are April Manu, Samara Brown, and Triana Mary. And thank you guys so much. We all went to university together. Yes. And I've worked closely with them before in classes and outside of class now. We're all graduated. So yeah, lovely workers, actors, and friends.
I love it. Do you get to knowing them? Do you get to write, like, understanding obviously that those characters in the script are not exactly the performers, but do you write like they would speak naturally to you, or do you write your characters and then have them?
I wrote actually, yeah. So I write how I speak or how like how I think. Yeah. I've had conversations like that bedroom scene with Aaliyah, and I'm forgetting my character's name. And so, yeah. I'm like, whoa. But yes, that bedroom scene, I've had conversations like that before. Like, who are you messaging? Oh, what boy are you talking to right now? Like, oh, who is he? Like, oh, okay, he said what? Like, stuff like that. Like, So it was I would say, okay, that was kind of a little bit of personal experience where it's like, no, we haven't had that same conversation with my friends, but something similar. Like that's a very colloquial way that we would talk. And I wanted to kind of represent that on stage.
It's expressed so well.
Wow. I was timing it, and it was really conversational, and it's so smooth. It was really great, and we want to see it again. Is it longer? Is it part of a longer piece?
It's not part of a longer piece, but I am planning on extending it. So that's what I meant. Like it's a working. Yeah.
I won't be able to sleep. I won't be able to sleep. Please give me an ending. No, we loved it. People were even Gina, our performers from the previous shows, so just saying how natural the flow was, and I totally agree. It came out so natural. It's like if we were there in the room, you know, like little flies on the wall. We were like, wow, this is so real. And the mother,
the
mom,
she came with her sass, loved it.
Her and Oscar.
That's my daughter. Okay.
Yes. Better be ready by the next First Friday. You've been told. You have to finish and apply. We are encouraging, as Tush said, we are encouraging people to submit for Winter Fringe. We're also encouraging people to submit for these First Fridays. So we would love to have more stories like these that just shake us to our core. And it's crazy because, this is a time where we're oversaturated with content, and we're oversaturated with streamable platforms where people can go to Netflix and find their kicks, or Amazon or Hulu or whatever. Either main channels right now are doing streaming services, and people can cling to that. But this is just as, if not even more satisfying, to have original content like this. It really does shake us, to the core, and we get just as enthralled in the story. So we're grateful to have yet another incredible story in the Orlando Fringe universe, thanks to you. How can we follow you on social media?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I use both actively, not really on Facebook like that. Although I did find this Fringe from Facebook, so glad I was on Facebook that day.
We have it on Twitter as well. I think it's streaming on Twitter maybe right now, the Orlando Fringe. So I know hopefully you'll have some people follow you on your Twitter at
Christy_Mac, and then my full name, which is Christy Tyro Macangela for Instagram.
We love it. Thank you so much. And would you stick around? We have one more show that we're excited to show and premiere here, and then we're going to talk to them, and then afterwards we're going to talk to everyone and talk about kind of this world. So would you mind sticking around? Is that okay? Would you join us?
Yes, I will. See you guys then.
All right. See you then. Write an ending, please. Please write an ending.
In the next 10 minutes.
I was freaking out. This is why I don't do dating apps.
Never done a dating app. That's probably why it shocked me so much to hear that she was like, I was sitting around and all of my friends and students were on dating apps, and I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
I did not know. I just didn't know. I've never, I don't want to say I never needed one. I don't want to be like that, but I have never used it. I was always too busy to even care about dating. I had a terrible date life.
Well, there were times, I lied. There were times when I did like open it, but my shelf life for dating apps are like a day or two, because someone who predominantly just looks for men in Orlando or anywhere in this area, you kind of can see when you see the dating apps who are your mutual friends, and you're like, this new person, mutual friends, 500 of your friends. I'm like, oh my God.
Everybody. Oh my gosh.
Everyone. Yeah. But what a great story. What a great story. Please, y'all, don't get kidnapped, anyone. Please. We love you.
Aware. Now moving on to our 6th and final debut. We have Resilience by Mia Ray Smith.
Hi.
What up? How are you, Mia?
I am doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for hanging in there. The last entry that we have, hanging in nice and quiet back there in the in the green room.
Sipping her tea, clapping away, watching the other shows, getting ready for her live performance, correct?
Live performance, that's right.
Ooh,
Mia, tell us where you're from.
Yeah, I was born in Detroit and I was raised in Queens, New York.
And right now you are in
Jersey, but I'm repping Queens.
You better rep Queens.
He's like, I'm in Jersey, but Queens.
Yes.
Now, how did you get connected with the Orlando Fringe world?
I have a very similar story. I'm rarely on Facebook, but I'm in a Facebook group with artists, and I saw the posting for the festival, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna apply!" And I was like, "Yay!" But I've heard really wonderful things from other artists about the Orlando Fringe, so I was excited.
Well, we're excited to have you here, to have this show in this virtual medium, and obviously welcome to the family. Now it's 6 more family members, 7. Well, probably even more than that, because those are the people who attended today, but including the actors. Now we have a larger family of 12 plus. So welcome to the family.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. So give us a little synopsis of the show. And then also let us know if there's anything that, might be sensitive for people.
So Resilience is a one-woman play. It's an autobiographical show, and it follows my life as an African-American woman trying to find a therapist. And so it's a full-length play. It's about 45 minutes, but tonight I'm going to just be reading 10 minutes. So the show is going to open up with me going back to my job in Queens, and I'll just take it from there. I won a grant in 2018 from Queens Council on the Arts to write, perform, and produce this show. The full-length play has opened up at LaGuardia Community College, and it was phenomenal.
That is an honor for us to have you here, Mia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any sensitive things?
Yes, so I will be talking about anxiety. So if that's a sensitive topic for anyone,
I gotta go.
Go get your ice cream.
That's a sensitive topic for the world right now, right? I mean, everybody's dealing with anxiety. When I wrote this, it felt like it was just me. So now everybody's like, anxiety, I have that too. So
how long ago did you write it?
2018.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What
when you
was
got
it saying?
and I heard you. I'm clicking. I'm slow.
Yeah.
There's a saying when it comes to stuff like that. It's a Puerto Rican saying. It's if you talk about your nightmares when you wake up, they don't come true. So letting it out, letting these talking about it just frees you from it, and hopefully it helps us all heal. So without further ado, here's Mia sharing her story of resilience. Take it away.
There was a short period in my life when I lived without anxiety and fear. I remember taking my first flight at 7 years old alone. Mia, I packed your dials, books, and you get a sandwich on the plane. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, how nervous are you? 10 being the worst. Tell the truth, Mia. Oh, I don't feel nervous. I'm excited. I told all my friends that I'm going on an airplane ride alone. Grandma told me, Mia, you're going to be 30,000 feet in the air, and don't nobody live up there but God. I didn't know airplanes went to heaven and you could meet God. Mia, your grandmother has no idea what she is talking about. She can't even go down the escalator. She's scared of the ocean and bridges. But when you grow up, you won't be scared to do anything by yourself. I've been on disability for 6 months. The only place I've traveled was through old photos. Tomorrow, I'm going back to my customer service job. I need the health insurance so I can start my search to find the perfect therapist. I've transferred to a location in Queens. Hopefully, it'll make my life easier. Welcome to QB. I hope that you are feeling fully committed to making some sales. Now we have some great promotions going on. Now I need you to push. I'm sure you need the money. What kept you out of work for 6 months? Oh, I had some personal things going on, but I'm fine now. Smart girl for not telling your business. People talk way too much in here. You can jump right in and help the next customer. Are you tech savvy? Oh, I wouldn't have a name tag for nothing. Doesn't mean anything to me. You know how many dressed up dummies are working in the wireless industry? Are you insinuating that I'm a dressed up dummy? You have a horrible attitude. This guy over here, he looks smart. I'll just work with him. Next customer. I only use my phone for emergency purposes. I make 3 phone calls a month, one to my wife, my ex-wife, and my brother. I don't text. I don't use the internet. Listen, I'm very old-fashioned. I still listen to the baseball game on the radio at 10 p.m. every night. If you ask me what year it is, I will tell you. It's 1994, and my phone bill should reflect the year that I'm living in. Every time I go to the Chinese buffet on Queens Boulevard, I get a discount. Why can't I have a discount on my phone bill? Oh, sorry to be rude, but I'm here on holiday and I need to get a SIM card for some top-up. I actually want to use the internet to phone my family back home. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm from the Upper East Side. I know I'm in Queens, right? So weird. This is my boyfriend's phone and I need you to unlock it. I'm sorry, but I can't do that. My dad owns half of Madison Avenue. I'll pay you. Darling, 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 you can pay me. I do palm readings on Queens Boulevard. I'll tell you all about your boyfriend. Take my card. How late are you open? 10 p.m. Give me a call. I put the palm reading card in my back pocket and headed downstairs with my coworker for my lunch break. That woman don't know nothing about your future. You better go to God for those answers. If I was you, I wouldn't tell nobody in here my business. You're a strong Black woman, but don't let these customers and co-workers get under your skin. You seem like a nice person, but you can't be nice in this business. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this strong Black woman to appear and knock down my anxiety and remind me of my power? But she's not here. And I don't think she's ever coming. I hate to admit it, but I've grown up to be an overly sensitive, anxious, goofy adult. And I need someone to help me through tough times. And when I cry, I feel better. Mia, we have a huge line. I need you back on the sales floor. Next customer. Listen, sis. I got mine to believe that the government is listening to my phone conversations. Every time I'm on the phone, I can hear somebody moving papers and whispering in the background. Now, I handle a lot of business on my phone. Business I can't talk about in this store, but believe me, the revolution is on the rise. Well, our first priority is to always ensure that our customers are protected and feel safe. I have no way of confirming that kind of information. I assume that corporate told you to respond like that. Well, we all have a job to do. I respect that, sis. I don't have the capability to investigate your concern. I could put you in touch with our corporate office. You're still speaking a language I don't understand. Listen, have a blessed day, sister. My first day back at work was more intense than I expected. But this job covers my health insurance, and I need to start my search for a therapist. Hi, I'm looking to find a therapist in my network. Please hold. Behavior Mental Health Line, this is April. Now, before we get started, I usually tell people to take an optional deep breath in and out. Yes, because starting a mental health journey is similar to getting married. You have to find the right person and not the right venue. Now, some therapists will have the prettiest office spaces, but they're no help at all. I'll give you a list of therapists and you can set up some consultations. Happy therapy hunting. I contacted some therapists in my network, and there was a month-long wait to make an appointment with 2 therapists. The other 2 weren't accepting new patients. Most psychologists run their own private practice, and they determine how many new patients they accept. While I was waiting to hear back from a therapist, I started thinking of my earliest memory of going to therapy in high school. Miss Smith, do you know why you are in my guidance counseling office? Somebody snitched on me because I was making an honest living. There is nothing honest about hustling candy in the hallway, okay? There's plenty of jobs that you can apply for that won't get you in any trouble. I'm going to help you get your working papers. All I need is your social security number. I don't know it. Okay, I'm gonna call your mother and get it. Oh, wait. Don't do that. I'll bring it in for you tomorrow. Let me talk to her first. If you don't come back into my office tomorrow, I'm gonna call your mother myself. Okay. But do you think I'll get hired at Queen City Mall? That's where all my students work. I'll see you tomorrow. Yo, Miss G, when I get my first check, lunch on me. Stop playing in the hallways. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. The end.
There is nothing honest about hustling candy in the hallways. Oh my goodness. Your character work is so on point. Oh, what a great story. I need to know all of this one too. Wow.
Thank you.
This was something you studied with at the William Epstein Studio, correct? Is this where you developed this and the many ways to storytell?
Well, yes, my acting training, I started at the William Esper Studio. So I did the summer conservatory, and then I did 2 years of Meisner-based acting. But I developed one of my first shows and my characters in Matt Hoverman's Go Solo workshop. So I have to credit him for helping me bring my characters out. But my acting is Meisner-based.
Nice.
From Esper, yeah.
Well, all your
right.
You're getting some love. People are loving the show. Fan freaking tastic. Clap,
Thank you for the love. Oh.
In the show,
yeah, there's 25 characters.
25 characters? Come on.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
My God.
Everyone's loving you. Now I have a funny question. Do you use any of these accents like to get away from someone or like for any kind of reason? You know, you're like,
when you're dating apples, right?
Well, no, I haven't done that before, but I know people are always shocked when I can do accents. So sometimes like I'll randomly just do it at an appointment. I'll be like, listen, I don't want to do all of that stuff over there. Okay. So like I told you guys, just come over here. I got to get all of my stuff. And they'll be like, Mia?
Hello?
Who's that? I'm like, I'm sorry, one of my characters came out. Sorry.
I'm an actor. Sorry.
Now, do you have any siblings? Did you play with them acting wise when you were growing up? I'm using my third eye vision.
Child. Yes, I had imaginary friends growing up. Lots of imaginary friends. That's where the acting started, honestly. Like when I was 2 or 3 years old, I started imitating my grandparents, and I would do like little family shows for Christmas in the basement. And they'd be like, be careful what you say around Mia, because she's going to pick it up and she's going to talk like you. And, you know, so I was sort of known to do that, but I had no idea that I would, you know, make a career out of it.
To fruition. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So awesome. And we would love to see, the full show. We would love to have you apply just as much as we would love all the other 5 performers, all the 5 shows. And it's just been such a thrill. So thank you so much, Mia.
Thank you.
Lindsay saying, everyone better apply for everything forever. Lindsay Taylor.
Yes.
Now, thank you, Brian, for sharing Mia's info below. We can check her out at MiaRaySmith.com.
Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Like the host, like you guys are a show. You are a show.
Thank you.
You are a show together. Like you two can just do your own thing. Just hear that. Do your own thing together. It's a show.
Oh, thank you. We'll have to collaborate. We would love to see you here in Orlando, and see all of us here in Orlando. Let's all get together. And now, people who are watching, who have been loving the show, please continue to donate. To text by texting Fringe to 41444. Again, 100% of that donation goes to the artists you'll see tonight. So Mia, would you want to stick around and invite all our other performers?
I got about 10 minutes. Can we do that?
Yes, let's do it. Yes. Stick around.
Yes.
I think we're gonna do like just 10 minutes with everybody. We're gonna bring everyone back up. We're gonna shower each other with love and adulation. Oh, Zena, oh Velvet, oh my Andrea, oh my God.
Andrea, Christy.
Christy, what up, everybody?
Oh my God, Mia, let me tell you something. When you were doing your Hispanic accent, I was like, oh my God, let me tell you something, because I used to do that when I was little.
Yes. That was queen right there.
Very impressive.
Very good work.
Everyone, great job. Great job. So first we had Saving the Best for Last by Brother John, who's not here. Then we had How Can I Help You by Nap Island Productions with Gina Hawass, who's here with us. We had Boldly Blurred Trek by Velvet Duke. And then we had Three-Way Love, Love Spears Requiem by Mott. And we also have Andrea here, who's with us as well. Who's a Trekkie as well. Aren't you Trekkie, Andrea?
I am. Next Generation was my end too. I couldn't watch anymore after Next Generation.
Yeah. And then the last two shows were Temptation by Christy. Oh, I can't believe we just got all this amazingness. Thank you, Marcus, for watching. And lastly, we finished the show by with Mia's performance of her show Resilience. So everyone's here. We did it. Joyce, who's an incredible person, producer, everything director involved in Fringe, Orlando Fringe. She says, welcome to the Fringe family, everyone. Come see us in Orlando. Please, please do. Thank you for sharing your amazing work. It really means a lot to us. And for those people who haven't noticed, all 6 performances are made by people who are Black, Indigenous, or people of color. So it is an honor to have all of us here and have all of you here sharing your stories. How important, whoever wants to answer this question, how important do you feel is to have, voices who are Black, Indigenous, people of color share stories at a time like this? Anyone?
We just need some positivity. Period. We need some love. We need some recognition. We need some proof that, we are all beautiful people, and we need to spread that love and show we can.
Thank you, Andrea.
There's no monolith. We're not, I mean, as many people as there are here, there are many different stories, and there's so many more. So we need to be seen so other people also know that they have an opportunity to share their stories too. And the more of us sharing our stories, the better it is for all of us.
Which is why it's so special for us to have all of you here and apply and perform. Like you said, that work begets more work. And getting to share these stories, encourage other people to raise their voices as well. So yes, absolutely.
I hope it's very encouraging that people understand. None of you have done the Fringe Festival, the Orlando Fringe Festival before, correct?
Yeah. That's correct. Actually, I found out from this through Lindsay. I was on a panel with Lindsay through Hollywood Fringe Festival's panel, and I met Lindsay 2 weeks ago, and we, just came to network, and she told me about this, and I was like, yeah, I'll try it out.
Yes. Let's give some love to people who are not Black, Indigenous, people of color, who have helped us, who've been allies and given us these spaces and reached out. We have a lot of people who are hearing stories like these for the first time from people who look like look like us for the first time. So, we encourage people to donate, help support these incredible artists. But we want to encourage those people. We want to thank them for being a part of this and watching this. And hopefully, I'm sure they're invigorated with all these incredible stories that are different or maybe a lot alike to what they've experienced. But this helps transform every one of us, those who are performing, those who are watching as well, and those who want to share something else. Now, I don't know if people are commenting on Facebook, if people who are watching on Facebook or Instagram, or Instagram or Twitter have any questions, we'll try to put them up. Marcus Aurelia says, this has been so vital to me. I'm heading into the long weekend with such a huge smile on my face.
Yay.
Yes, it's so great. All the shows have been so diverse. If anyone wants more information about performing at Orlando Fringe, this is Lindsay Taylor saying visit www.orlandofringe.org/artists. Now, do we have anyone who has any questions? Any people, any audience members, or any of us here? If we have any questions to each other, I know there's some cliffhangers. There's some moments where like where this was going. Anyone, feel free to share. We have a couple minutes to spread the love. Any of us here, any of us who did a show can mention anything if they'd like, or if not, we can just look up pretty.
I like how a lot of what I saw is very relevant to relationships in general today.
Mm.
Just how, like, the dating, because I'm 41, I'm a veteran, and I'm retired, and I'm single. And sometimes I find myself on them dating apps, and then I kind of like have to still at 41 text my friend, be like, girl, this is my address. This is where I'm going to be tonight. This is where I'm going to be tonight. But the relevance of everybody's work is
stranger danger.
Yes. So Christy's story was just struck you in a personal way because of that thing. I loved Brother John's message, because I'm a singer too. Tush is a singer, is an incredible singer, and as a singers, my journey to listening to a song, I actually got to sing What's Going On and Change Is Going to Come for a Fringe fundraiser, actually. But listening, what was it? Was it for the fundraiser, the 60s inspired. But it that show touched me in a special way, because I understood that process of getting moved by the soul in the song, as portrayed by the performer. So anyone else? I know Andrea commented on a show that spoke to her, but getting to watch, how has it been getting to watch other shows, the other 6 performers here? How has it been for your experience personally, and how do you think it has either inspired you or give you any ideas for down the road?
I think one thing that stands out to me personally is just how many different options you have to tell a single story, right? Because I feel like from the beginning, there was almost like a cabaret type music. It's just I just really loved seeing all the different ways that people told their stories, and kind of learning from that too, and being this is a cool way to convey someone's emotion without just coming out and just saying it,
Yeah.
So that's something I saw that was really cool. In addition to it being very relevant, even though a lot of these stories were written not in the time of the pandemic, I can still feel they all are still relevant, especially the ones about race, and it's especially relevant these days.
Yes. Very relevant.
I love it.
How else will we change if we don't start to hear these stories and put them in the mainstream and put them in with everybody else's stories? How else will we be able to change anything and grow in our art and let other artists know that this is a platform for them? Whether it's visual or writing or performing in it, we have to let them know that this is here for them.
For sure.
What is keeping you motivated in this year of years?
Yeah. Anyone want to answer that question? I know, because we've all had to transfer to virtual. We all had to. I know we talked about that in one of the shows about creative restrictions yield creative results. But what's been keeping each of you motivated this year of years?
I love the challenge period that's been placed before us, not being able to be direct in contact with an audience, direct in contact with our cast. Just the challenge of how can we still do this and get a message across is definitely what kept me motivated. Because if I, like I said, being retired, if I don't keep busy, idle hands, idle minds.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't use it, you lose it.
with the mental health that she brought up, I have a issue with depression too sometimes.
Yeah,
If I don't
amen.
keep busy, guess what? That's my motivation is I don't want to get depressed. I don't want to
Yeah.
get depressed. Let me find
Keep it at
something
bay.
new.
What about you, Christy? What keeps you motivated?
It's interesting because, especially with this pandemic and just this year alone, it's been really weird for me. And I was actually realizing just a few days ago that like doing stuff like this Fringe and like, I don't know, like working again is starting to spark the creativeness in me, the creativity in me again. And I think when the pandemic first started, I was very much, I'm gonna plan. I wanted to plan like, I didn't think the pandemic was gonna go this long. I don't think anyone did. So I was like, all right, we're gonna be out of here by September or so. And when September comes, it's gonna be execute. But we're still here basically at home. So now it's like, I was doing all this planning, where I want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. What do I want to do? How do I want my career to go? Am I going to school? What am I doing? And then now we're still in the pandemic, but now I have to adapt. So just like Andrea said, like we're all online. We have to keep busy. It's a challenge. And this is my first time doing something online. So I would say this, honestly, like being a part of this Fringe is definitely motivating me. I'm going to go home. Well, I'm home, but I'm going to get offline now and feel motivated to continue editing some other things that I'm working on, some other projects. So, I don't know. I'm very glad that I submitted my play. I'm very glad that I'm involved in this because this is definitely sparking some stuff up for me.
Perfect, Christy. Thank you. We have about 5 more minutes of questions before.
Oh, I hear myself.
Anyways, I don't know who has me up. I'm getting nervous. Anyways, I did want to ask, how does what is happening? Everyone dance. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'll try to get my question out. Where does storytelling fit in this current world? And where does storytelling of voices who are Black, Indigenous, people of color fit in this world right now? Let's ask Matt.
An artist has to be in the middle, just in the middle. Whatever that's happening, what happened in the past, and what they think may happen in the future, the artist has to be right in the middle of both of those extremes. Regardless of what happened in the past, and regardless of what we think may happen in the future, the artist has to be current in the moment. The artist has to do that because you may have politicians, you may have people, your preachers, the people who are, the spiritual leaders, what have you. But it's the artist that has the freedom to create what was happening in the past, create something based upon what they know, what they've seen, what they heard, use that and create for what's next. And I think with virtual theater is helping people to realize that we got to keep focused. We got to repurpose ourselves as artists, as people, so we won't get depressed.
Yeah,
it's constant therapy for us as artists to continue to be in the moment. It could be just waking up and doing yoga or finishing up that book, finishing up that book that you've been trying to do for ages and ages. The time is now for us as artists to use what we have and inspire people who may be dragging when it comes to just everyday life. So, so that's my very long-winded answer to your question.
It was perfect. Now we have one more question. I want to. Thank you so much, Matt. I want to ask Velvet Duke, and we'll wrap it up. I want to thank, first of all, everyone for coming. Thank you all. But one quick question. Sorry, I know I don't want to say goodbye quickly. Latin people say goodbye like 10 times before they walk out of the house. We like give people kisses on the cheek. But Velvet, what do you think your great, and anyone can answer too, but what do you think your greatest hope is now that we're in a place where, there's more attention now to stories and voices who are BIPOC? Understanding that now the attention is increasing, the platform is opening up. What is your greatest hope to other voices and other storytellers, and what is the greatest hope to just in general when it comes to the people who are BIPOC and sharing stories?
Y'all said I only have a minute, so I can only do one of those questions. All right.
Okay.
So what I've been saying a lot in 2020 is that the internet has been a great act of democracy when it comes to expressing Black joy. There are fewer gatekeepers. Having all of the theaters shut down is a travesty. But at the same time, we're not having to go through them in order to get our stories told. We can do it on various platforms, and I have appreciated that, and I've taken advantage of that. My hope is that more people see shows like this, and as I said tonight already, that they see this as an example to give them inspiration and encouragement to follow and put their own stories out there. I found that this has been a time of great introspection, of reflection, and also ensuring that I'm not telling, if I am telling a story that has trauma attached to it, who my audience is intended to be. I'm not doing it for white audiences anymore. So, and again, the internet is making it easier for us to say, hey, this isn't for y'all. This is for us. And so tonight's show and other shows that I've been doing recently, it's for Black audiences. And yeah, we can commiserate, we can heal each other's wounds, but y'all, you wait over there. So BIPOC performers, BIPOC writers, artists, however it is that you express your creativity and your love and your healing, please give yourself space to do so.
Brilliant.
Love that.
And to that, I think we're in a good place to wish everyone adieu. Thank you so much for being part of this incredible Second First Fringe. Were you waving, or did you wanted to say something, Andrea?
No, there's a comment. There's a question in the comments about connecting with artists that we may not know yet. Can y'all see that? By Bruce.
I can't see it.
While you're figuring that out, I also want to encourage you all to watch DS9 and Discovery.
Perfect.
Come back to Star Trek.
Bruce Ryan Costella, performer, producer, incredible extraordinaire from Orlando Fringe, asking, who also a couple of days ago was trying to reach out to a lot of performers, trying to find other BIPOC performers and producers. He says, for those of us who want to collaborate with BIPOC artists, what are some ways to find and connect with artists that we may not yet know? Sorry, last minute question. We love you. Yeah. It's okay. It's a great way to wrap it up.
You know us. You can know us.
Yes, but also
here we go.
Make sure your space is inclusive and safe for us. Just because you want us there doesn't mean you've actually made it. You've prepared it for us to be able to be there with you.
The intention. The intention is important.
Intention's nice, but make sure your community is set up for it.
It's true. Perfect. And I think social media is really helpful. Twitter, I've seen like a lot of people put on Twitter, like, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for a writer, I'm looking for a director. And the amount of people that will respond to your tweet is ridiculous. Your mentions will be in shambles, but there you've opened up, you now have like a set of people that you can reach out to, see their work. Is this possibly something that you want to create and collaborate with? So definitely social media, I would say, is a great place to meet people.
Thank you, Christy. And thank you, everyone, for attending. Actually, we are going to make sure that we have all your information shared either in the Orlando Fringe or in the multiple pages to make sure those people who have attended tonight can find a way to reach out to you, either thank you personally or give you like extra cash or like tell you, you know, they want to be able, they want to work with you, or they have some follow-ups, or they're going to ask you what is the ending, Christy. But on that note, we want to thank everyone who attended. Let's give it up for Gina. Let's give it up for Matt. Let's give it up for Mia.
Yes, Velvet.
Let's give it up for Velvet. Let's give it up for Christy. And let's give it up for Andrea.
Yay.
And it's been an honor to host the show with the iconic, incredible, my sister, my goddess.
Cesar and Tush.
Tush.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining us for this first Fringe Friday. Don't forget the applications for the Fringe come out October 1st. Mini Winter Fringe applications shut down on Tuesday. We want to see you all out there. Tell your friends, your families, and your foes. Check out your Fringe. Check us all out. We love you. Peace. Be safe.
Peace. Love each other. Keep encouraging BIPOC stories. Wash your hands and wear your mask.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Dance. We're still dancing.
When in doubt.
Give it up for Gina, Matt, Mia, Velvet, Christy, Andrea, Good. And let's give it up for Lindsay, Taylor, and Brian.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.